Man, Joan, if you don't think this whole Epstein mentioned Trump multiple times in the private emails, if you don't think this is some sort of a hatchet job, my word. So it's 8:06, right? Mm-hmm. CNN started on this like minutes ago.
Yes.
And they're still on it. I mean, they are treating this like the biggest story,
coverage.
wall to wall.
Yeah.
I guarantee you, we are like 2 or 3 minutes away on CNN of a 6-panel conversation. And do you think any of those, people, now you know what they're showing on CNN? Now they're showing Donald Trump with Jeffrey Epstein in a room that is also had like hundreds of people in it, in that ballroom or whatever it was.
Yeah.
And again, they're treating this like this is such a humongous, ginormous reveal. And it's not. As a matter of fact, I want to get Congressman John Rose, his opinion on this. He joined us on the Newsmaker Hotline. Congressman, always great to have you on. I'm not sure if you have heard the news, but the CNN, they're all over this, where they're reporting breathlessly, Caitlin Collins, that Epstein mentioned Donald Trump multiple times in private emails. New release shows, and I don't want to lead you in your answer, sir, but I mean, we've always known that the two knew each other, so how is this a big deal?
Exactly, Dan. Thank you for having me on WTN this morning. I think the Epstein thing is the total political hatchet job, a canard, if you will. Obviously, Democrats controlled everything for a good while, and the President Biden was in office for 4 years, and they had absolutely no interest in this issue. And then all of a sudden, it's the most compelling thing, the most dire thing that needs to be dealt with. If they thought that, then when they controlled all the levers of power in Washington, they could have released everything, and they released nothing, and that's because they're protecting their own, and now trying to just use this as a false flag to go after President Trump.
One of the things, and of course, you in the House of Representatives, this is something that you're well aware of. There is this discharge petition, and today, he may have done it already, actually. Mike Johnson was going to swear in this Democrat, I think her name was Grivalda, I think it was. And so I may have that wrong, but, she's supposed to be the deciding vote in this discharge petition. Then it would send it over to the Senate where let's be honest, it has an unlikely future right now. We don't really know what's going to happen to it. But, I thought it was interesting that the Democrats have been screaming for how long now that Mike Johnson is trying to avoid a vote on this discharge petition because he was not swearing this woman in. And here he is swearing her in.
Right. I think, again, this is just belly aching by the Democrats in the House. They obviously set the stage for the government shutdown by voting against keeping government open. And the Schumer shutdown, obviously the longest in history because of the choices of Democrats to use Americans who are suffering as pawns or leverage, if you will. Not unlike Vladimir Putin uses Russians as fodder for his war in Ukraine. And so it's just really shameful, and it's sad to see this. And the Epstein case is just another case of a misdirection by the Democrats. Again, they could have released all this information. The discharge petition is something that each member can sign, and I think we're at 217. The new congressman that you mentioned, she will be 218, and what that does is then force a vote on the House floor. Obviously, if all those who signed the petition vote for it, it will pass in the House. But you're right. I think it is unlikely to ever even get the light of day in the Senate. And frankly, it's unnecessary because Representative James Comer, my friend from Kentucky, just north of the border, chairman of the House Oversight Committee, has been leading a very effective effort by oversight to get all of this information out into the open that needs to be, while protecting the victims of Jeffrey Epstein. And so that's the way that this gets done, and it's been being done. And tens of thousands of pages of these documents that have been released, but released in a way to protect the innocent victims.
Yeah, Congressman, that's what I've been saying is Mike Johnson, you, Scott Desjardins, Tim Burchett, I think we've all interviewed you guys, and you've all said the same thing, which is we need to make sure that not only the victims are protected, but also people who may just be mentioned in even a peripheral kind of way, got to make sure that their names are redacted or their identities are protected, because lives could be ruined if they never did anything untoward, but they just happened to bum a ride on the plane or whatever it may have happened.
Right. There are names that appear in these documents just because Jeffrey Epstein bothered to say something about someone. And it would really be a miscarriage of justice if for some reason your name happened to be mentioned, but you really had no involvement in any way with the sordid activities of Jeffrey Epstein. It's really unfair. And I think we can all is there anyone listening today who thinks there's any doubt that if there was credible evidence that President Trump had been involved in some nefarious way, that the Democrats would have surfaced that long ago if this is in these documents that they had custody of, that the Biden Justice Department had custody of? We can rest assured, given the lengths they went to persecute President Trump, they absolutely would have brought all of that forward long ago. And so it's just a canard. It's a misdirection by Democrats. They're trying to drive a wedge here. And they're putting, just as they have in the shutdown, they're putting innocent Americans at risk of harm in order to accomplish their political objectives. And we've heard them say the silent part out loud, which is that they think that's worth it, and they're okay to throw people under the bus in order to accomplish their political objectives.
Congressman John Rose is joining us. May I ask, sir, are you back in Washington, D.C. now?
I am on my way to the airport as we speak. So I have, I think, 2 or 3 flights reserved today. Hopefully one of them will make it there, and I'll be on it to get there for what is now scheduled as a 5:10 p.m. Eastern Time vote this later today.
So you're talking about the continuing resolution that is going to come over to the House of Representatives. And I would agree with you. This whole thing is got to be hung on the Democrats, clearly. So what's going to happen is the House will pass this. How quickly are we going to get, everything funded? I mean, how long before the flights get back to normal and so forth?
Well, I think that's a good question, and I'm not sure anyone really knows the answer to that because, of course, there is unintended long-term or perhaps you might say intended long-term damage that's done by these shutdowns. But I think that it'll be fairly immediate. Obviously, assuming the House passes the Senate version of the bill, it will go to the president's desk. I assume later tonight he would sign it, and I'm hopeful that we'll be able to pass it. Hopefully there won't be any holdouts on the Republican side, although there is a poison pill in this that we discovered yesterday that could derail things and send this back over to the Senate. But hopefully it will pass today. The president will sign it tonight. And, it's just a matter of the paperwork then of getting and just the administrative effort to get government reopened. So hopefully paychecks will start to flow out to people who've been left in a lurch, and benefits will begin to flow, and hopefully that will all happen quickly.
Well, let me ask you, I'm going to ask you, okay, so what was that poison pill? Congressman, what is that poison pill?
Well, so what we learned yesterday is that the Senate had put into this a chance for certain senators who were investigated wrongly, I think, by the Biden administration Justice Department, for them to get a $500,000 payoff, it looks like. I think a lot of Republicans and Democrats in the House are upset about learning this, that these Republican senators who were the subject of, nefarious Biden Justice Department intrusion into their private communications. But now it appears that something has been put in this bill that would allow them to get up to $500,000 from taxpayers. And, I don't think that's a good idea. I don't think it's a good look for that to be snuck into this bill. I'm not saying that it was appropriate for the Biden Justice Department to do what they did, but I don't see how it's appropriate for United States senators to collect $500,000 that, the typical taxpayer wouldn't have access to, and for taxpayers to be footing the bill for that.
Right. I'm trying to figure out, okay, so Why would they vote that in? I'll tell you, these kinds of continuing resolutions, and this is why so many people hate Washington, D.C., Congressman, is because of this kind of stuff.
Absolutely. It's a bad look. And I hope that both of our U.S. senators will immediately and aggressively disavow any intention to seek this money. And I would call on them to do that. I hope that we won't derail the chance to reopen the government today because of this, poison pill that was thrown in. And, hopefully we'll be able to take legislative action after the fact to reverse this and get us back on track. But it is, you'll see a lot of the reporting about it, and it's something that I have a great concern about. And I think it is a bad look for Congress, for the Senate.
Congressman, one more thing. This is a bee in my bonnet. This is a bird in my saddle. There was in the Senate version, as it comes to the House of Representatives, there is what I would call, at least it's a poison pill for me, but whatever, this move to ban hemp, CBD-related gummies, that kind of a thing. I know that I've been through this a million times now with our listeners, but this is something that really does help our veterans. And the Senate decided, as Rand Paul was trying to negotiate with the Senate and the industry, they just decided to go ahead and regulate this industry and the farmers to the point where they can no longer make these CBD-based products that do help people with veterans, PTSD, and help people sleep and myriad of other things. And so I'm a little frustrated with that. How do you feel about that? I mean, I'm assuming that nobody wants to hijack the continuing resolution in the House, but I got to tell you that leaves a bad taste in the mouths of a lot of people who utilize these products.
Well, I think this is a continuing source of frustration in Congress, and if I'm reticent to say that the founders made a mistake in the Constitution, but I think frankly, time has revealed that there should have been a germaneness clause in the Constitution that restricted putting these outliers into bills and taking things in, because it's always, I think, leads to bad outcomes. Each issue deserves to stand on its own merits, and you and I may disagree about the specifics of this particular issue, but I think it is disappointing to see these must-pass pieces of legislation used to carry things that deserve to stand on their own and deserve to be in the light of day and debated and discussed by the representatives that Americans have sent to do their business. And so that's disappointing always when it happens.
Well, and you as a farmer, I mean, you know the struggles that farmers are having right now. And there's been a number of different controversies with President Trump. I think you and I spoke about the president's desire to import beef from Argentina. We're already getting beef from Brazil. That has an impact on farmers. And now this will have a major impact not only on the people who utilize these products, but also the farmers. And a lot of those farmers voted for Donald Trump.
Well, I think you're right about that. We do have to look out for our farmers. This is the very toughest time for agriculture, perhaps in modern history. The only close time similar was back in the early 80s when we had high interest and runaway Carter inflation, much like the Biden inflation that we've had recently, and then low commodity prices because, again, Democrats do not step up and do the job they should of opening up markets for farmers around the world. So President Biden did not negotiate a single trade deal for U.S. farmers during his time. And so you're right, we're in a tough place for agriculture. And the country, for the first time in my lifetime, the last 4 years, has had a huge and growing agricultural trade deficit. And so every little bit helps when it comes to trying to help the American farmer. You're right, a lot of frustration around what the president did about, mentioning importation of beef from Argentina, which is not helpful. But, I think obviously he's got good people at the USDA, and I think hopefully we will ameliorate any harm there. Every time, though, you take away a market for farmers, you're hurting them.
Congressman, affordability is a big word in the news today. We are all looking, as you well know, midterm elections coming up next year. How can the president and how can the Republicans in the House of Representatives and the Senate, how can we all work together to make things more affordable for the American people? And we could also work, we have Obamacare in there as well. We have a lot of people out there, including yours truly, who have experienced Obamacare and how my family, it is just our costs have skyrocketed.
Well, absolutely. And, you know, there's been much said in recent days after the elections about affordability and how that was a big issue and that maybe Republicans had missed the boat on that. I think nothing could be further from the truth. Obviously, we've come off the worst period of inflation in recent history in America caused by Democratic, progressive, woke policies in Washington and runaway spending. And now for the folks who set the fire to claim that they're going to be the firefighters to come and put it out, I think is pretty rich. So it's a classic case, Zoran Mamdani and Democrats, they're the arsonists who set the fire of inflation in this country. And now for them to claim to somehow be the guardians of the middle class or for working Americans, I think is just unjustified. So President Trump's policies, I think, will lead to a robust economy and rising productivity across the country and all of the above energy policy, which has such a big impact on the price of all goods and services. And so the president has already taken these issues on, but it takes time. These things have to make their way through the economy. And so we already see energy prices coming down, and I think you'll see more of that. Sustained low energy prices will contribute to low prices generally throughout the economy. They'll make things easier on all Americans, of course, but on producers particularly who are buying lots of energy, transporting goods and services, buying inputs that are dependent on energy. These are the answers. You're right also about Obamacare, and much has been made in recent weeks about the premium tax credits, this benefit that was extended during the COVID period, and it only affects about 7%. Now, I'm not saying those aren't important people. They are important people. But we have to keep in mind that the problem with American health care is Obamacare, which was promised to lower costs, but has actually led to and caused dramatic increases in the costs of health care and insurance across this country, putting millions of Americans in harm's way because their access to health care has been impinged by these just runaway costs. So the price of premiums for all Americans is going up, not just those who are able to take advantage of this premium tax credit, which, by the way, is a payout to big insurance companies, not to American citizens. So none of that money ends up in the hands of American citizens unless it trickles down to them. The Democrats and liberals are always fond of using that term trickle down. Well, the premium tax credit is the ultimate trickle down policy where billions of dollars are handed to the wealthy insurance companies on the hope that average everyday Americans might see a small benefit from that.
Congressman, real quick, I'm way out of time, but that poison pill that you mentioned, where senators would get $500,000 if they were targeted by the Biden DOJ. Who put that in there? Do we know how that got in there? Like, was there a specific senator that would put that in, or is that done by the Senate Majority Leader?
I'm not sure. I haven't seen the details on that yet, but I know it's something that my friend Chip Roy, Austin Scott, others have been decrying in the Rules Committee meeting yesterday in the House. So we'll get to the bottom of that. Love to come back on and talk about that more once we figure out where this came from. But I think it is just a misplaced effort, and I think it's unfortunate that the Senate saw fit to do that.
Yeah, I'm with you. And, of course, we know that our own senators, Marsha Blackburn and Bill Hagerty, were both targeted, which means that they would theoretically, if this thing ultimately passes, that they themselves would get $500,000. And as you just said, Congressman, you are openly and publicly asking for our two congressmen or our two senators not to accept that $500,000.
Absolutely. I think that would be a very bad look for Republicans and for our Tennessee senators. And hopefully none of them had any part in this. Now, I don't excuse in any way the overreach by the Biden Justice Department. I think that was wrong, and it should be pursued and investigated, and those responsible should be punished and that should be brought to light. But I don't think, based on what I know right now, and maybe I'll learn something that I don't know presently that will shed a different light on this, but these sorts of things should be done in the bright, shining light of day and not slipped in the way that this has happened here.
All right, Congressman, always great to have you on. You've got an adventurous couple of days ahead of you, and I always appreciate you joining us here on Nashville's Morning News on Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Wait, all right, so
I love this. It sounds so nice.
It's festive. I'm in.
Yeah.
So keep this going, and I want to read Nick's text. Damn, seriously, you are a moron. Talking to me. And you have truly pissed me off. Every time you want to legalize your blanking drugs, you use veterans as the crutch. I've got blanking PTSD, and I'm a veteran, he says, and I'll reconcile what I've done in my service with my God Almighty. I don't need illegal drugs to help me cope. You are a California liberal piece of crap.
Oh, wow.
He says, I'm done with this blanking station.
The music really hyped that up, actually. I'm not going to lie. The music really brought up...
Little spreading... You know what? This would be our official,
Spreading Christmas cheer.
Spreading Christmas cheer theme.
Let the record show that the drugs that Dan just wants to keep the drugs legal.
Yeah, that's all I'm saying, dude. Nick, and love you. And by the way, Nick, thank you for your service.
Yep. God bless you.
It's not a crutch. It's a fact. I mean, if it's a fact that the CBD drugs help veterans and it is legal, and I want to keep them legal, and there's a lot of conservatives and a lot of veterans that believe that these CBD products should continue to be legal, then that's not a crutch.
Here's one of my things. If they're saying that they're not going to slow down H-1B visas because of the economy, then why would we get rid of a product that is making the economy money and putting people to work?
Especially here in Tennessee.
It only hurts southern states. Yeah. Like that's who this is going to hurt. It's going to hurt conservative southern states.
Do any Midwest, I don't know this, do any Midwest states grow hemp?
The overwhelming majority is southern states.
No kidding.
Would you say Missouri's Midwest? Or is that right there at the border?
Like, you got Kentucky.
I don't think the Midwest or the South wants Missouri. They're on their own.
You know what? They're too hard to spell. Yeah. I'm just kidding. Whatever. Maybe I am a moron. Maybe Nick is right. Anyway.
Put the music back on.
All right. So apparently, no, the moment's over. So apparently Murphy Show had some fun at my expense yesterday during his Contours commercial.
Oh, no.
Now, Joan, have you heard this?
I have not heard it, no.
All right, so I have not either, and Sam wouldn't let me preview it.
I'm already my mind is running wild. Knowing what the product is and how Murphy could go off the rails, it's almost like the unknown makes it better.
Yeah.
That was my thought process.
Okay, so let's hear what Murphy... I have not heard this.
To set it up, this is supposed to be a 60-minute or 60-second read, and he took him 2 minutes to read it.
Would you consider this fun with audio?
Absolutely.
Yes, fun with audio. All right, go ahead. I like it so far.
He's crushing it.
You know what?
No wonder it took him 2 minutes.
If you're looking for a more feminine option, you can ask for the Mandas if you want. I don't know that that's on the menu, but so if you're looking for the more masculine option, I would go with the Murph. More feminine option, I would go with the Mandas. I think it takes a little more off at the hip. 615-236-9960. That's 615-236-9960. I think he's going to get me back for this one tomorrow morning on Nashville's Morning News. ContoursLLC.com. Ask for the Murph or the Mandas at Contours LLC.
Is that a thing, Dan?
I may have missed a memo.
Is that what you're searching for? Are you searching for the latest copy points?
What's so funny? I'm actually searching for the email from our friends at Contours. You know what they wanted to do? They wanted the Mandas. was supposed to be a combination of a belly buster special and a facial.
Okay.
And my worry was the word.
The word what?
What word?
I don't want to. Don't make me do it.
Well, you have to.
You grilled me about what I had to say about girls on Broadway, so go right ahead, sir.
No, I was just worried about the
word.
locker room humor of some people when we start
In regard to what term?
talking about
About
facials.
Okay.
And I just knew that people couldn't handle it.
Is this?
they couldn't handle the facials.
I know how you people are.
This feels a lot. This feels.
You people.
This feels a lot like projection. Does anybody else feel a heavy dose of projection coming from Mandis?
Yeah.
I'm suddenly feeling very sweaty. And this is uncomfortable.
Is that?
Maybe I should have gone down this road.
Is
Isn't that what that red light technology does?
Is that part of the Mandis special?
Yeah, a belly buster special and a facial. And I didn't want to.
The sweat's free.
The sweat is free. Absolutely.
Okay.
Towels are extra.
24/7. The estrogen levels are definitely higher in the morning. What are you talking about?
What was that?
I don't know. Did you hear there's like a whistle?
Yeah, it was like an
Sorry.
alarm.
I don't know. What was that?
I don't know.
All right,
Thought
good.
your mouth was whistling again unexpectedly.
I can't whistle in real life, but if I'm talking, sometimes a whistle just magically comes out.
I'm here for it.
It is so bizarre. Anyway, yeah, so everybody is reacting to that. So we'll just move on from there. Because there's no other way to go down this road that does not lead to me getting fired.
Fair.
And you know what? Nick would love that, but my wife would not.
You'd have plenty of time to soak up your CBD gummies, Mandis.
I'm such a drug pusher. Whatever.
Dope, man. Dope, man.
Take a little bit off at the hips kills me.
So funny.
Take it. What?
Take a little bit off at the. He said it's the girly version because
It takes more
you
off the
take
hips.
a little more off the hips.
What is Matt's version? I don't even know what Matt's version is. Murphy, are you there?
Extra hips.
Here's the deal. I missed.
There's extra hips on the Matt special.
I've missed a memo where Matt is supposed to have the masculine belly buster special, and I've got the not so masculine
With a facial.
with a facial.
It's terrible.
Damn it! Don't make me do that. Okay,
If
hold
you're
on.
looking for a more feminine option, you can ask for the Mandis.
Stop. So Matt just sent this in to me.
He said it to me, too.
Contours Holiday Special, the Murph. Buy a belly buster package of 6 treatments and get 3 maintenance treatments for free
Maintenance.
for use in the new year for just $25.99, a $2,300 savings. Good, $1,231. All right, so I got to find out.
Murph's comes with more maintenance.
Maintenance.
If there's anybody that needs a little maintenance,
Oh, careful.
psychological, if you know what I'm talking about.
Oh, shots
Listen,
fired.
I'm just saying.
Shots
If there's
fired.
anybody that needs some maintenance on this staff, it is Murph. You know what's so funny about that? I hear it and I just started laughing. That's the funny thing about that. So, hey, by the way, Joan's going to be out for a couple of days. We're still going to continue to use that, Joan, just so you know.
Oh, well, at least
now
then I'll have a
the-
present.
Now the
Yeah.
has created a life of its own.
Yeah.
Where are you going, Joan? Because we're going to be subjected to a few days of "Where's Joan?" on the text line.
Did you fire Joan Mandis?
You chased Joan off, didn't you?
Going down to Chattanooga to see The Thorn.
What is that?
It is. I'm going to see if I can get. It is. It's a faith-based play. That's playing in. I think it's the Chattanooga. There's some center there that it's playing in. So some friends wanted to go see it. So we're all going camping. So it's a lovely time of the year to go camping. We're going to do that. Go see The Thorn. It'll be terrific.
All right.
Fun.
Yeah.
If Dan and Chad would head back to California, we can close the doors.
Wow.
Why am I getting hate? Have you noticed? Like, I'm getting a lot of hate, and I don't understand why.
I don't know. I don't get it.
I don't get it either.
So I don't think that it's real hate. I think it's just
you think it's like
hate.
fake hate?
Yeah.
That's the kind of hate I like the most is fake hate.
Right.
The friendly, the friendly kind of razzing.
Hatred.
Yeah.
It's exactly what I like.
Totally what it is.
Is that what it is?
100%.
You know what? I'd like to turn off the microphone today and feel the fake hate or the true love. That's what I would like. I'd like to feel the true love, not the fake hate.
Okay,
Well, you have
Elton
to go
John.
home for that.
The fake hate?
No, the real true love.
Oh, there's some fake hate in my house too. Don't get me wrong. Anyway, moving right along. Somebody says Matt's version includes a mullet. Is a mullet the sign of masculinity? Because I used to have a mullet for years. I had a mullet way beyond when mullets were cool.
I have been trying to talk my wife into letting me give the boys a mullet.
Don't do it.
Don't do that.
Why?
Man. Are you
Why?
kidding?
It grows back.
It's awesome.
No.
Yes.
It's for a window in time, you guys.
I'm Team Chris on that.
It's for the pics.
You know-
and then we can chop it off. But there has to be a window where the boys have mullets when they're still young and cute. I don't need them when they're like grown having mullets.
You said
I want them to be little guys.
You said
When they're grown, they're not going to like you for it.
Nah, they're going to love it. My mom faded me up like Vanilla Ice one year.
Let's
I love
go.
it.
Mom win.
so. When you talk about how it would be a moment in time for your kids, it would be the moment in time they got picked on at school.
Nah, you don't pick on the kids with mullets. I learned that the hard way.
Are you sure?
Mm-hmm.
No, it's like
Okay.
it's like boy named Sue theory. You got to give them something to get picked on to toughen them up.
Yeah.
All right, whatever.
Because you can't make fun of their dad because he's cool.
Well, then why don't you
true.
get a mullet, Chris Hand?
Thought about it. I was just worried that I'm already one of the best looking guys on the station. So to do that to you guys on top of everything else,
Whoa.
Joan,
I don't know.
Fact check true.
You know,
Joan-
I don't know if it'd be fair. I don't know if it'd be fair.
I love Sam jumping in fact check true.
Best looking guy, the most humble, and then to have the best hair on top of it.
Okay.
The beard leaves something to be desired.
I think he's gaslighting you, Dan.
Joan, you're a girl. Who's the best looking on the station?
I'm not doing
Of the
that.
four.
Oh, Joan.
Holding out. Holding out.
You want to do a quick Daily Dan poll? You want to do a very quick Daily Dan? Do it real quick. Do a Daily Dan poll. Who is the best looking host on the station? Dan, Chris, Chad, or who am I missing? Dan,
Matt.
Yeah. Who's the best? What's his name?
The one that needs the contour maintenance.
Yes, the one that needs the contour. I need memory maintenance. So, yeah. And clearly I'm going to lose. That's that part of that insincere hatred that I get on the station. But Joan won't say who's the best looking.
I'll tell you what, though, the super text line is overwhelmingly pro mullet. Overwhelmingly
Let's go.
pro mullet.
They also are gaslighting you.
I don't think I've ever seen the super text line agree this heavily on one topic.
My goodness, Chris, you're running away with this.
I'm sorry.
Hey, look, Dan, at least you're getting some votes.
Am I getting some votes?
There's
So you put it
one
up.
host that has received no votes.
Well, who is that?
Don't.
What?
Oh.
Well, I don't want to pick. So Matt didn't get any votes.
Oh no, Matt's beating you.
Shocker. All right, so it goes. So let's just be honest. It goes. Chris, Matt,
Yep.
me,
Yep.
Chad.
Yep.
Is that what it is?
Yep.
All right.
Oh, Chad finally got a vote.
Jeez.
I should have done that. Take that down. You all ought to be ashamed of yourselves.
Oh, you're gonna take it. You're gonna take it down as soon as I start to run away with this thing. Is that?
No, I don't want
That
anybody
feels
to be-
that feels like shenanigans. Just for the record, let the record show.
No, I
I'd
don't-
like to see this thing through and see where the scores fall.
No, I don't want.
In a rapid fire 40 vote session, Chris won with 44% of the votes. Dan 28, Matt 25, Chad 3.
See, the important part there is I beat Murphy. That's the most. And you'll notice we cut off the voting before Murphy could pull ahead of me.
Yeah.
That's the most important part.
Dan was worried about a 2 a.m. ballot dump from Murphy.
Worried about a pipe bursting.
That's what he
Matt's
was worried about.
pulling in with a big old UPS truck.